President Yoon and Prime Minister Kishida sought deeper ties during their face-to-face meeting, marking the resumption of reciprocal visits or so-called shuttle diplomacy between the two countries. The leaders announced the outcomes of their summit talks on Sunday, designed to take further steps to overcome bilateral disputes and strengthen their value-based partnership. We turn to our Oh Soo-young, who was there at the press conference.
The leaders of South Korea and Japan are taking the next steps to tackle major sticking points on sensitive bilateral issues as they set out to mend fences in the face of various geopolitical and economic challenges. At a joint press conference following their summit in Seoul, President Yoon and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on Sunday announced key measures to build trust and value-based cooperation.
우리 두 정상은 한일 관계 개선이 양국 국민에게 큰 이익으로 돌아온다는 점을 확인하고 앞으로도 더 높은 차원으로 양국 관계를 발전시켜 나아가는 데 합의했습니다.
Building on their March summit in Tokyo, Yoon and Kishida reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening trilateral cooperation with the United States against growing nuclear and missile threats from North Korea. The leaders acknowledged their ongoing efforts to bolster security cooperation, including information sharing on North Korean missiles. Yoon and Kishida also confirmed that there have been active efforts to launch a new economic security dialogue, as well as a fund for youth exchanges, and to promote new cultural exchanges. Reflecting on the progress so far, the two leaders said they would expand programs for the future generation, including scholarships, as well as the number of flights between their cities. The two then touched upon sensitive matters, beginning with the South Korean public's concern over Japan's plan to release treated radioactive wastewater into the ocean. Yoon and Kishida agreed on a South Korean inspection into the safety of the wastewater from Fukushima, separate from the ongoing probe under the International Atomic Energy Agency. In another significant move to grow their value-based relationship, the two leaders said they would visit a memorial park in Hiroshima this month to honor Korean victims of the atomic bomb in 1945, when Yoon attends the G7 summit there later this month upon Kishida's invitation. Both leaders said they looked forward to deepening their cooperation on broader global issues at the G7 meeting. Further adding to the mood for reconciliation, Kishida expressed his heartfelt sadness for Korean victims of Imperial Japan's forced labor, who he said had to work under strenuous conditions. He also expressed appreciation for Yoon's efforts to overcome the bilateral dispute on compensating the victims.
Despite the historical context of our countries, I consider it my responsibility to continue to cooperate with President Yoon and South Korea toward the future, following the steps of our ancestors who have overcome difficult situations.
Marking the first time in 12 years that a Japanese leader visits Seoul for a summit, Kishida's two-day trip has put the so-called shuttle exchange of leaders in full swing, reciprocating Yoon's visit to Tokyo in March.
It seems there is more shuttling to come as the South Korean president heads to Hiroshima in less than 2 weeks, where he is also expected to hold a three-way summit with Kishida and Joe Biden. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.